Hey everyone, this is part 3 of my DIY shed series. I'm going to go in depth on everything that I have done since I have purchased this new shed. So you guys might have a couple questions about the last video. No new updates on that. I will make a full video whenever that gets resolved or we have more stuff happen with that. Anyways, in the meantime, I designed and built this new shed to match the pad. So it's a 12 by 24 shed, and I had that delivered. So that trailer that you guys saw at the beginning was super cool. That thing would lift, tilt, it had wheels, so it could basically drive itself and extend, and it was super cool. Recommend watching a video on that, but I really enjoyed watching him and filming that part of it. You can see right here, I bought some more 2x6s. I'm currently making a ramp for my zero-turn lawnmower. So once I get that, I'll be able to drive right up and in there. But yeah, so I leveled those off, you can see right there, I leveled those off, and I put some gravel underneath those and then dug all that soil out. And then what I did was I took some rebar and drilled holes through the 2x6s and drove those down about 3 feet into the ground so it doesn't really go anywhere. That's exactly what I did with the full 12 by 24 the whole pad itself. That's exactly what I did for that one too. So just following the same process. And now I'm gonna have to, so you can see me drilling those holes right there, and then I'll be driving those in. Sped up really fast, you can't really see me, but that was exhausting driving those 3 feet down in there with a little tiny sledgehammer. Yep, so I'm removing all that sod, and I'm gonna put some landscape material down shortly. Yep, you can see me doing that. Put some pins in there, and then I had some leftover gravel out back from the leftover pad, so that works. I put some bricks in there because I thought I was going to run out of gravel. I didn't want to run out and then have to dig it all out, so I just put some bricks to take up some space because you won't see it because it'll be underneath the ramp itself. Yep, so there you go, all done. The color's the same, it's just hasn't been washed off from the rain. So I think I brought that the pad out about 6 foot. Then I had to do some math. I haven't worked with wood really ever, so I had to do some math, figure out some triangles to get the right slope on my ramp. So I ended up making those exactly 6 feet. I took 12-foot boards, cut them directly in half, and you can see I'm figuring out how to mount them. Yep, and then Amazon, they delivered so it's super windy right now. You can see those doors are just flying everywhere. So I bought some chains with some springs in them so I could just leave the doors open all the time. I'm going to figure out a way to prop the doors open because they kind of like swing shut on their own weight. So I'll have to figure out how to do that. But that's going to keep the doors from flying open like they are right there in that video. You can see it just smacking up against the wall. So I got those mounted. Yep. Finished product. We're real happy with those. I touched some I think like 2.5-inch screws that just drove right all the way through there, and it's super strong. So, yep, figured out my angles, and now I am cutting out my triangles. If you can see me mounting them there. I think I did 7 or 8 of them. I spread them out about 12 foot on center. Try and get it as strong as I can for my tractor. I don't want anything to damage that ramp itself. Yep, just cutting them out, nothing crazy. I used the first one as a template, and then just went behind my DeWalt circular saw. It just worked pretty good, and I was real happy with how all that turned out. You can see my Frenchie Lila, she's a hoot. It was starting to rain a little bit, so this video ended up getting cut a little short on the decking process. I think once I got them all mounted, I had to cut the video because it started raining pretty good, but I ended up finishing it, and I'll show you the pictures at the end. It looks pretty good. So I think I got some metal like braces, kind of like for roof joists or something. I don't know exactly what they're called, but they mounted those metal braces directly to the 2x4 that was at the bottom of the shed, and then they bolt together to that ramp piece, and it just kind of held everything together instead of just driving screws through the wood. I used the brace itself, which was pretty nice. So now I am measuring my first board, I believe. Yep, so then you can see finished product. Super happy with that. Turned out well. I'll end up, once it dries out, I end up staining it or painting it or something to match. But for now, real happy with that. And then the last shed I had 2 lofts, so I figured I really liked those, so I went ahead and bought some 12-foot 2x6s and mounted those up there, threw some plywood up there, and then got them all centered up, and then screwed them down. It was extremely hot up there, so I'm glad I did it not in the springtime, not in the summer, because I would have been sweating. But yeah, I got those all screwed down. I was real happy with that. I'll throw some stuff I don't ever really use. Like we have the carpet from the inside. They left a pretty big roll of carpet from when we built our house, and then some extra flooring and lawn chairs and stuff that you don't really use all the time. I might just throw up there, just keep it out of the way so I can utilize as much floor space as possible. So you'll see in this next part, I throw some of that PVC up on the top shelf. That's for the wiring. I'm gonna wire electrical to the shed itself, so I have electricity. And thanks for watching, guys.